What is up, ladder climbers? This is Antoine Wade, and in today's video, I will be giving you 5 tips on how you can start your web development career. Welcome back to the Black Heights channel, where we discuss everything related to tech and career progression. And in today's video, guys, I will be giving you 5 tips on how you can jumpstart your web development career. For those of you not familiar with web development, essentially it is the skill of building and maintaining code which runs on the internet and web pages. And there are different kinds of developers: a front-end developer, a back-end developer, and a full-stack developer. A front-end developer mainly deals with design and the layout of web pages. And this is commonly referred to as user interface and user experience. And back-end developers focus on the functionality and the data-driven or the administrative components of the actual website. And finally, a full-stack developer can do both the front end and the back end. So these guys are the ones that can build it, as well as to support it, as well as to do everything else with it. It's pretty awesome. Now let's jump into the first tip. And the first tip is to learn web languages. A web language is essentially a programming language which web browsers such as Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, and Mozilla Firefox can interpret and compile to a website. And amongst these languages, here are some of the most popular. HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Yes, it's a mouthful, but Hypertext Markup Language is a core of a web page. So all of the text and the buttons which you see on the website is built on HTML, which is not a language, but a markup language. And JavaScript essentially allows you to add intelligent functions onto the website. Have you ever been to a website which has a calculator or some kind of graph or animated buttons of some sort? Well, all of that is JavaScript. And JavaScript takes static web pages and transfers them into functional user tools like booking calendars, currency converters, and many more. And then there is CSS. And CSS is a language which allows for front-end developers to stylize web pages to be more aesthetically pleasing for the user. So if you're old enough to remember Web 1.0, websites used to be like documents, just strings of text. But as computer technology and infrastructure improved, new internet was born, which allowed for designers to incorporate aesthetics into the implementation of websites that is often referred to as UI and UX. And PHP and MySQL are back-end languages which allow for you to integrate data-driven functionalities and administrative abilities into a website. For example, have you ever logged into a website which needed you to provide a username or a password? Well, guess what, guys? That is PHP and MySQL. And PHP essentially is a data-driven language which transport data from the front end of the website onto the database, which stores records such as account details, usernames, passwords, addresses, and this allows for the business to offer complex services to its customer base. Tip number 2 is to clone other websites and to work with templates. And learning how to clone other websites and customize templates will give you a good idea of what is current and what is trending, as well as what other web developers are implementing in their designs and functions. And although this may be a steep learning curve, it will help you to implement concepts and to get a functional understanding of the web quicker than if you were to do it on your own. Right? I mean, like if you copy something and you clone it, then you understand a little bit more about it versus you having to create it from scratch. And the more templates you customize and the more websites you successfully clone or copy, it is more inspiration and skills you will pick up along the way. Now, the most important thing you need to learn about websites and programming in general is that you do not need to start every project from scratch. Once you get your hands dirty, you will have your own inventory of digital assets such as navigation bars, sales pages, checkout pages, and other processes which will allow for you to speed up the delivery of your work. And if you program a checkout page for an e-commerce store once, there is no need to develop that over and over again. You can save the code in a modular format, and when a client needs or wants a store checkout, you can simply customize it to their specific needs. Tip number 3 is to familiarize yourself with the concepts of UX and UI in mobile first experiences. 75% of the internet traffic and activity happens on a mobile device. So when you are thinking of a website or a web experience, think of how a user will interact with this website on a mobile device. Is the text large enough? Is the text too large? Have you made accommodations for the different screen sizes in different aspect ratios? If you do not consider these critical components of delivering an awesome web experience, then people will simply stop using it or not use the website at all. In addition, ensure that the website is well thought out and not too complex. Learn how to understand the user's needs and how you can deliver those needs without the user feeling lost or confused as to what they need to do next. Remember, simplicity sells. Look at how Google approaches all of their products. Very little clutter, very straight to the point, not difficult to use. In other words, make sure your grandmother can use the website. Not everyone has a high technical inclination, but many people use the internet. And if you can implement clean, easy to use designs, the sky's the limit for your web development career. Tip number 4, guys, is to learn APIs. And APIs stand for Application Programming Interface. Let's say it again. API stands for Application Programming Interface. And APIs are essential to any programmer's toolkit, especially in today's hyper-connected world. The most common APIs you will find out there include the following. Stripe, which is a payment processor, which allows for you and other people to process debit and credit card information and collect payments online to your online store. There's also weather service APIs, which allow for you to integrate weather information into your website. Skyscanner, which allows for you to integrate travel information, car rentals, flights, and other travel related information into your website. Essentially, APIs allow for you to leverage the work of other programmers and developers into your website in a seamless way. The most important thing you need to learn about APIs is that they are probably written in a language like Python, JavaScript, PHP. So it's probably a good idea to learn other languages outside of HTML and CSS. This allows for you to work easily and seamlessly with APIs. And the last tip to learn about is security. The internet is a place which is riddled with scammers and cyber criminals. Learn about SSL certificates, encryption, and other tools which will help and assist you in making your websites more secure and safe to use. Nearly 75% of all organizations in the US have experienced some kind of phishing scam, and the average phishing scam costs an organization $14 million. Yes, I said that right, guys. $14 million. Thank you guys for watching this video. And if you have any tips that I have missed, do leave me a comment in the comment section of this video. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, y'all, peace.